I just started my walk and I just barely got around the corner of my house, and somebody had like, I don't know how it got there, but apparently I'm vibrating on a frequency where religious text, like the pages, have just been thrown into the air and scattered all over the ground. So I picked up a couple of them, and I just have 2 pages because there was quite a few things, and I wasn't gonna go hunting down all these different pages. I'm just trusting that I picked up what it was that they wanted me to find. But I'm really excited to get that home and see what's on there. I have recently learned that, you know, you can't trust everything you see, you can't trust everything you read, and we obviously already know that, but when it comes to signs and synchronicity, you have to be careful where you're following. I have to anyway. I really have to. So we'll see where that leads us. Yeah, so the learning moment there was that I should have recorded it so that you could see what I walked over to. It was like pages out of a book, just like not ripped up, but like cleanly removed out of a book, just all over the ground. So, and I don't know what book it was from. I almost want to think it was maybe like Book of Mormon. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just some of the verbiage on the page made me think that it might be. We'll see. I got to a place where the road is blocked off, which normally it's not, and there was a road closed and a detour sign pointing this way, and I was gonna turn around. I turned around and then I was like, oh, you know what? I should probably go down and take this detour, because I asked for a specific sign to let me know that if I have any missteps, you all are protected. I just, yeah, so I'm walking a different way today. Walking a different way. The shoes. There they are again. I can't see myself that direction, but whatever. I had an encounter with shoes, which I'll tell you about when I get home. It's way too freaking hot out here. I got sent on this detour to find those shoes that got left there in the street. I should probably tell you that story because it's a powerful story. It's a very powerful lesson in how our beliefs create our reality. Yeah, a really, really powerful lesson. I have fear in my mind right now. Fear is whispering lies to me. It's telling me that is really freaking creepy. That I keep finding empty shoes sitting around. But yeah, I will tell you that story. I will share that wonderful wisdom with you. Maybe when I get home, I might have to collect my thoughts on that one because I gotta center myself. Okay, I backtracked the way that I came just so you all could see the pages of the religious texts that were scattered all over the ground on my walk. It's so funny what happens when you're able to shift through different energy fields and frequencies. Like, all kinds of things appear in front of you. Look. Picked up one more. Okay. But look more. There's more. So I forgot my chalk. One time I forgot my chalk when I was out on my walk, and I was like, oh no, I forgot my chalk. And the next thing I know, there's a piece of chalk laying on the ground. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll write these messages, you know, that'll have them. Oh, there's papers everywhere. Look at them. Again, holy shit, they're all over. I can't go chasing down every page. Oh, they're everywhere. I don't know what, I'm gonna have to figure out what book this is. So funny. But another time, after I decided to give chalk to the unhoused in my area, I wrote in my gratitude journal, like, thank you for providing the resources for me to be able to give lunches and chalk to the unhoused people in my area. And then I was out on my walk and I found another piece of chalk, and I was like, oh look, my resources, they're coming, they're on the way. Yeah, so basically the tools that we need to build a new world, they're on their way. We just have to ask. We have to ask and have faith that they're on the way, because I don't know, miracles are happening in my life, and all I'm doing is asking for a piece of chalk, and then bam, I'm shifting to the frequency at which that already exists. The resources and the support and the love that is required is already there. It's just waiting for us to shift over into its frequency. I sound like I've been running for miles, but it is so hot. It's hot. I'm super excited about this. Hopefully I'll learn something fun. I'm sure I'll learn something, even if it's I wasted my time picking up trash. Actually, that's not a waste of time, picking up trash off the street. Maybe I should have picked up all the papers. I haven't finished reading this, but it's talking about how basically, you know, a thought virus, I'm calling it a thought virus, which is fear, took over that community, and how it justified violence. And I'm just kind of, man, when I started my YouTube channel and I was inviting the universe to participate in co-creating this channel with me, this is not what I freaking expected. I just really hope that whatever comes to light sheds light also on the fact that the atrocities that are being committed by certain groups of people don't represent that whole group of people. Just like not every American supports what is done with the American military. Even members of the military don't always support what they're doing, what they have to do. I have no intention of marginalizing any community of people, any faith, anything like that. That is the opposite of what I intend to do. So I'm going to have to look at these things very carefully, because there is no absolute. There is no all of some group is bad. It's not. The way that God explained religion to me, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's the way that man manipulated certain groups of people, and those people that believed that formed new groups who are dripping sweat, literally dripping, formed new groups of people that rose to power. But for true believers in your faith, whatever that faith is, you know who you are. You know who you are if you put love first and kindness first. And it doesn't matter what you call God. If you believe that there's, you know, God, or a oneness or a singularity or something that we're all connected to, or if you just believe in a cosmic family and aliens, as long as you put love first, that's what matters. What a responsibility it is to have to, shouldn't say it that way, what a responsibility and a privilege it is to be given things like this. I guess I have to thank God for all of the experiences that led up to this, that allowed me to view these things with multiple pairs of glasses, with multiple different goggles, so that I could see multiple truths at once, because only being able to see one truth is what causes division. That's what causes us to hate each other, to attack each other. I know. I wish I had a better setup here, but just whatever. So I'm gonna talk about the shoes real quick. So I went for a walk not 2 nights ago. Was it 2 nights ago? It was either 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago. And when I left my house, the house like right across like catty corner kind of for me, there were shoes. There were a pair of white men's shoes in the street. One of them was like over by a car, and the other one was like out in the middle of the street. And I was like, that's really strange to see shoes without a person in them, like sitting like that and in the street. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a note of that because like I feel like that's interesting for me in my life. That's not trash. It's one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I started on my walk and I don't know at what point this happened. I think this like I had been listening to a song that was talking about walking across the desert without shoes on, and I was like, oh, I hope I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that and like I had this really, man, I should back up. I should tell you about the christening. I got a message to go burn a timeline, to go burn something, like a story, an idea, a belief, and then write a new one. And so I did that. And as I was doing it, as I was like watching the old storyline burn, all of a sudden out of nowhere over the fence comes like drops of water, like somebody sprayed a hose, but there was like nobody over there. I don't think it was the sprinklers because I didn't hear anything, but it was just like all of a sudden I just got splashed in the face with water, and I heard christening, and I was like, man, I had to Google it because I don't know. I really did not grow up Christian, and I just kind of rejected the church and all of the teachings like as soon as I could, and I can't remember anything. So I had to Google it. I was like, what the heck is a christening? What is that? And then I'm like, wait, that's for a baby. And then I was like, I'm getting a new name. I don't understand this. That's not that important. It's kind of interesting and cool, but so like when I was thinking, I don't want to walk across the desert without shoes on. Can my new name just be like Jen Tenderfoot? Can I please have shoes? So I was making that joke, and then I was like, oh, the shoes. My spirit team left me shoes. Like God and my spirit team left me a pair of shoes so that I don't have to walk across the desert barefoot. And it made me like laugh, and it made me happy, and it made me feel supported. And then like because I had a really kind of weird walk where I got back home and I wasn't tired, so I kept walking. So the second time, like I passed by him a second time and then went a different direction, and the shoe one of the shoes had moved. It had moved from over by the car to meet the other shoe out in the middle of the street. So somebody had come out, and these were like white shoes, like white, brand new kind of white shoes that somebody left out in the middle of the street. And they had to have come out and been, oh, I left my shoes here. And they moved the other shoe out into the middle of the street to where the other shoe was. And I was like, that is so bizarre. Like, what? Who does that? Like, I mean, I know who did it. Like, I know why it was done. It was done for me, but it's just real funny, And so I'm like, okay, maybe, and then I was like, oh, I just rewatched my video because I was trying to like look for something in my channel, and I came across that video where I was talking about us needing to grow into the shoes that we needed to walk into the new world. And I was like, oh, maybe they're making a reference to that. And then I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe they're saying that I'm doing a good job, like, like I'm getting like new spiritual shoes, like I'm growing. So then I took it that way, and I was like, huh, just kind of contemplating that. And I thought, okay, well, that's encouraging. But then the third time that I came, like when I came home, I passed by those shoes again, and a delivery driver, like an Uber driver or whatever, like food Uber, pulled up and was like delivering food. And when he's coming back to his car, I just happened to be passing by at the same time, and I made a joke. I was like, I think the rapture happened and nobody told us. Because, I thought it was funny. And then I got in my house and I started thinking about it, and I was like, I went down major fear spiral. I freaked out. Like, I mean, I don't even know how else to put it. I followed fear. I chased after my fears, and it led me to looking, like desperately looking for signs to figure out what it meant, because I was scared. And I ended up following, like I I learned this horrible lesson. Not a horrible lesson. I had a horrible evening learning this lesson in doom scrolling and chasing after things. And what happened for me was actually a couple of things. I was shown kind of like on a fast forward, like a time lapse, almost like a time lapse video of a flower blooming. But it was like I got the experience of what felt like a lifetime of brainwashing and programming through social media, through the media, not just so like through the media. And it was like I was seeing it on both. I'm gonna say both sides, but what I mean is like two different or three or four different sides of a story. So it was like I was getting like, oh, the rapture is happening, oh, the aliens are coming, and it was just like this back and forth, and I felt like I felt like a coin. I felt like I was experiencing the duality of, I want to say God, but I think that's not the right way to say this, but the duality of light and dark existing in the same space, and our reality looking a different way depending on which goggles we're wearing. So I felt like a coin that had been flipped in the air that was just spinning, and I was just like, fear, love, fear this way, fear that way, like this, being afraid of this, being afraid of that, and it sent me down like this crazy path. And I was reacting. This was my really hard lesson here, is that I was responding to it. Like I wasn't responding to it, I was like reacting to it. And I was like thinking that I had to do like X, Y, and Z to like make it stop, and to like prevent like bad things from happening, because I was chasing after, like I was running away from fear and chasing after solutions to this fear. I think there may be somewhere out there a recording of me talking about commandments, because I was listening to my fear. And so if that ever surfaces, if that still exists out there, I don't even remember what I said. I'm pretty sure like that it was talking about like loving people and stuff, but it's still like I shouldn't have been just parroting back somebody else's words, and that's exactly what was happening, is that I was doing that. And I learned a lesson in how easy it is for us to be aware that we're watching the news and we know that it can influence other people, and you feel immune to it because we're aware of it, but we're not. I mean, I feel very aware of how that influences us and other people and me, but I was not immune to it. I fell for it really hard, and I fell flat on my face. So that spinning I experienced was kind of painful. It was a painful experience for me, but I'm so glad I saw it, because in that spinning sensation, like that view of the world, like spinning, shifting, changing, like a Rolodex, like this view, this view, this view, I was shown like the duality of our reality and who I could be in all of these different worlds, in all of these different possible timelines, or different vibrations. And I was able to see my path toward going to the dark and becoming, inadvertently, unintentionally becoming like the way that it would have happened in Book of Revelation. And it wouldn't have been because I wanted that. It would have been me afraid, like me being afraid for other people, because I had become convinced that, of a certain reality that's not real. And it was really humbling. It was really humbling to see that. But I also was getting, you know, what made me stop was I was getting, like, I had some sort of a thing that was like trying to encourage me to talk about how it was just some garbage. It was some information. I'm calling it information, but it was just like, who knows where this information, like where this stuff came from, what intentions were behind it. But it was talking about like whatever their version of like World War II was, and like chosen people. And I was like, no. And I put my foot down. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I am not doing this. I'm not making, like, I'm not putting a target on any group of people's back. Like, that's not what we're doing here. And this is old. This, like, I'm not doing this. Like, it was so, that's when I finally was like, no, I'm not effing doing that. I was like, I'm not gonna, I don't know this, and I don't think that this is helpful to us. And if it is helpful, it's not helpful, like, I think we could have a discussion about it, but like the way that it was like, say it like this, tell them, give them this message, and I'm like, this, I could see how it would be taken from somebody who's wearing fear goggles, and it would put a target on certain people's back for no reason. And yeah, it was a really hard night for me. I made a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, they weren't mistakes. I am so grateful to God and my spirit team for giving me that experience behind the scenes so that I didn't make those mistakes on a public platform. Minus that one recording where I'm talking about new commandments. I hope that doesn't like surface, but if it does, we can talk about it. I don't want to hide that. I don't want that to come out and be like, where'd this come from, Jen? Well, that's what happened. But I also was taught, like, I was shown again, like, hey, you can't go off a script. It comes out horrible. When you try to read off of a script, like, when you're trying to read somebody else's words and you're being inauthentic, it's terrible, Jen. And you're reminding me of that I need to just stop asking, like, what do I do? What do I say? I need to just be me, because that is my path. Just like it's your path. Like, I had this one path that was, the story of this Antichrist from the Bible, the one that was misinterpreted and written about in the Bible. And then the flip side of that is, it's me. It's not Jesus. It's not Jesus, but it's Jen finding her path to Christ consciousness and being willing to share that with other people so that they can find their path, because there isn't just one path. There is, but there isn't. As long as you let love lead you, you'll get there. But your path isn't going to look like my path. You're probably not going to find shoes out in the middle of the street and freak out and make weird recordings of commandments. Like, I hope you learn from my mistakes and don't do that. And I really hope that everything that I've had to go through alone up until this point means that nobody else has to go through this alone, because there has been times where it was really scary. Scary, like literally, like scared of spirits and stuff. Because I don't have an image to any of that. I'm not like seeing ghosts or anything, but there's energy around us that has capabilities far beyond what we think we're capable of in our current reality. So when I found, I was so in spite of how awful that was, See here's another lesson here that we're learning. This is a teaching moment. So when I was on my walk, I was trying to listen to music, and my thing was like buffering, and it wouldn't let me listen to it. And I was like, okay, usually when something is interfering with my electronics, there's a reason. Like, they're doing it for me. My team, whoever my team is, thank you, team. So I took it out, and because I was paying attention and not just mindlessly listening to music, I came across that road sign that said detour this way, and so I was like, oh, let's go that way. And that's when I found those shoes. And as soon as I saw them, I was like, great. Even though they led me down, I led myself down a really hard lesson. First of all, it's synchronicity, and two, it's an opportunity for me to see, I'm finding the opportunity in it. I'm finding the light in it. I'm finding the love in it. And that's the lesson, is that our perception is our reality. And I get to share this lesson with you that goes to show that what we see and what we think, and if we believe what we're thinking, then that's going to become our reality, and we're going to react to that reality. And our outside world is going to respond to us to confirm that. So yeah, I was happy to see those shoes, and I've decided that I'm not going to give them any other meaning at this time. Like, as far as I know, like, I'm satisfied. I'm completely satisfied with finding those shoes to serve as an indication of, I'm encouraging you to share this lesson, because this is a huge part of Christ consciousness, is becoming aware of how our thoughts determine our reality. So yeah, thank you, God, and my spirit team. I'm pretty sure my grandmother is I've been told my grandmother's been with me for a couple years now, like really close. So I just want to say thank you to her, and also my dog who's passed away about 10 years ago. I'm still talking about my dog. Yeah, but I got a spirit team that's helping me out, and I appreciate that. I still have to read this book. I have to read these pages. But considering what I just shared about that story of the shoes, that's why it's so important to be that I really take my time thinking about what's on this, just knowing that it's talking about, a population of people that has been marginalized and has been targeted so much, and there's so much controversy because of the things that are happening overseas right now. And I know that not everyone that's over there is supporting what's happening over there, and that needs to be acknowledged, that we can't just blame an entire, like, yes, people that are there need to stand up and say what's happening here isn't right, but just because they're there doesn't mean that it's their fault. They just need to make sure they're voicing that it's not okay. You can't participate. I don't know. Like, I'm not there. It's so hard to see, but I don't want to make assumptions. The only assumption that I feel comfortable making is that it's not all of every group, like all of anyone from a group ever. So I'm probably going to cut that all out. Like, it's just such a... That being said, the violence that's happening over there is not okay. It's not okay. What is happening in Gaza, what Israel is doing to Gaza is not okay. The fact that most of the world is sitting by, not doing anything, not saying anything, not okay. Not okay. There are so many acts of nonviolence, actions of nonviolence that can be taken to deter what is happening over there. Just cut that off. Cut it off. And instead we're supporting it. What a shame. How shameful is that? How shameful is that? I know a lot of people are looking at it with fear goggles on, and then they're looking through lies too, not just fear, but they're seeing what somebody told them to see rather than what's actually happening over there. No violence is ever acceptable. Violence is never acceptable. I'm gonna cut this off right here. I'm going off about something that doesn't have anything to do with this video. So I just had a thought. What if every time I find a pair of empty shoes, I decide that it means that symbolically I made a believer out of someone? That one of my love letters from God, from love, convinced someone that God is real, that love is real. Somebody convinced somebody to believe in love and turned them back toward the light and away from the fear. I think I'm going to choose to live in that reality. Yeah, empty shoes mean we helped somebody turn away from fear and toward love. Yeah, so I left part of the shoe story out on accident. One of the rabbit holes that I went down with the shoes was that when I was at the mall near me, I was struggling with feeling insecure and like not wanting to like walk up to people to give them cards, and so it made it harder for me because I was trying to hide all of them instead of like hiding some and then giving some away, and I was just feeling like pressure, like internal pressure that I put on myself. Nobody else put that pressure on me, but I was feeling pressured to like be more outspoken and to actually interact with people more, because it's something like that I know I need to work on. And so one of the spirals that I went on, chasing that fear spiral, was thinking that my spirit team was kind of making fun of me for leaving my cards in like the shoe boxes, because like I hid them in pockets and stuff. I hid them all over the place, but I did a lot that were in like the shoe departments and like put them in the shoe boxes. And I thought maybe they were telling me that I wasn't supposed to leave the notes with empty shoes. I was supposed to leave them with shoes that have people in them, Jen, like, hello, like, how dumb are you? And so like I was really beating myself up at one point thinking that that's what it meant. And yeah, like that was part of it. It just like it was like every direction I could have taken that. I just like fear this way, fear that way, fear this way, like I'm not good enough, I did this, it means this. It meant so many different things. And yeah, like I still wasn't getting that. I wasn't fully getting that I shouldn't be like, what do they want me to take from this? What am I supposed to learn from this? Like the lesson is, it has the meaning that you give it. You decide. You are co-creating your reality with us, with your fellow humans, and with the spirit world that's helping, like God, that is helping give our experience a 3D physical reality. And we have to take responsibility for what we choose to put our faith in. So yeah, when you start getting like a whole bunch of signs and you get all confused and you're like, what does this mean? What does that mean? Don't forget that you have the power to decide.